Hello Scorpio, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead, my friends. And if you just tripped over this channel today, welcome. Thank you so much for trying this out here at Ten of Cups Tarot. And if you decide to stay, I hope you will. And I hope you will hit that subscribe button. Please turn on the bell button as well so you know when I am uploading. If you are the ride or die and you're here all the time, you know who you are. Thank you so much. I appreciate you, whether you are new or whether you're here all the time. Thanks so much for being here. So this week, what we're going to do, Scorpio, is we are going to do two hands. So I'm going to use two different decks. We're going to do two different readings. And with the interest in hopefully capturing more energy than I usually do just in one read. Sometimes these two hands are going to relate to each other. It might be the continuation of the first hand, but sometimes it's completely different. Let's find out what's going on with you. Look, why can't I shuffle? What's going on with you? Are things falling apart, falling out of line? Maybe people are falling out of line. All right, here we go, Scorpio. Let's find out what's going on. My readings are always for the week ahead, my friends. Whenever you find it, today, tomorrow, or next year, it's always going to be for the week ahead. Let's find out what's going on for Scorpio. Tell me what Scorpio needs to know. What's the most important thing that Scorpio needs to know for the week ahead, please? We do have the 10 of Wands in the reverse. I feel like you're about to release some sort of a burden here. For some of you, you're releasing the burden. I feel like for others of you, I feel like you're avoiding releasing the burden. Look, some of us live in chaos. Some of us are raised in chaos. And sometimes it's hard not to be Chicken Little. When you're the person who has been raised in chaos or you're around chaos all the time, the 10 of Wands in the reverse can also mean that this is sort of an issue of martyrdom. It's like, well, you're carrying all these burdens. Can't you see I'm carrying all these burdens? It's like someone who's refusing to let it go or is trying to avoid change, because sometimes the chaos we've been raised in or we're used to can be comforting, right? We don't know what to do without it when we're not putting out fires all of the time. We've got the 8 of Pentacles. For some of you, it's the workplace. For some of you, this 10 of Wands in the reverse is telling me that the reason that you stay at the job is because you're comfortable with the chaos or the toxic environment. And it feels like it is somebody here who works super hard on themselves, who works super hard in the workplace, but you still feel really heavily burdened by some sort of chaos here. We do have the Queen of Swords. It's time for you to get up, stand up, and say something. It's time for you to liberate yourself from a situation that you feel that you just can't get out of, or you've been failing or avoiding putting down. It's like this thing has been around for so long. It's like part of your DNA, and you don't want to have to put it down, but it's time to liberate yourself, my friend. There you are. There's your energy here. Scorpio, the King of Cups, right? So I want to say that even though you're kind of stuck in some sort of a chaos here, that you never show it on the surface, because when we look at the King of Cups, we can see that there is water all around him, right? It's sort of is a depiction of him sort of sitting at the bottom of the ocean, maybe, or sitting on some sort of land where it's stable, even though that the waves and fish are mounting around him, right? So I feel like you have a survival tactic. Your survival tactic, Scorpio, is that you keep calm on the surface. Scorpio is great in the event of an emergency of some kind. I have a friend who's a Scorpio rising, and that person is the person who will jump to the rescue of anybody. And so I feel like you're in some sort of chaotic situation that either you can't get out of or you refuse to leave alone. And I feel like it's taking a lot of your energy. You put a lot of work into this every day. Carrying around these 10 wands is something that you've decided is comfortable, and that's what you do. It's time for you to liberate yourself from that, and that's what the universe is saying. The Queen of Swords is someone who's very honest, very truthful. This is somebody who is liberating themselves and speaking for themselves. I'm no longer going along with your idea. I've decided that I'm going to go with my own idea. She's got the Ace of Swords in her hand, right? And the Queen of Swords is not someone who is going to be angry or upset or pissed off. This person is somebody who's saying, like, you know what? I don't think that I'm going to have you speak for me anymore. This is the divorcee, and she's learned to speak for herself. I say she because there's a woman on the card. You will see men and women here, but please understand we're not reading body parts. We're reading masculine and feminine energies. So the Queen has masculine and feminine energies, although she's feminine leaning, majority feminine energy, but does have masculine. And we do have the King here who is majority masculine leaning energy, but does have feminine energy. So I feel like you're supposed to be In the week ahead, you're supposed to be liberating yourself from a situation that you've been keeping under the surface. It's bugging you, it's bothering you, and you're carrying it around with you, and you're trying to work on, how do I take care of this? How do I figure it out? Tell me what the King of Cups should do, please, about the situation. How is King of Cups going to liberate? Well, you're going to bring everything to the surface, my friend, and you're going to make the sun shine on it. It feels like there needs to be a spotlight on the Ten of Wands. You need to really see the situation for what it is. Maybe you're so used to carrying around the 10 Wands that you don't notice that it's become heavy because you've become stronger. And that's the truth of it, right? Sometimes when we carry around a lifetime of burdens, we tend not to notice it because we've been carrying it for so long. I feel like the sun is telling me that it's time for you to grow in this area. It's time for you to decide to put the spotlight on it. It's time for you to see things for what they really are, to see the 10 Wands for what it really is, even if it feels comfortable to you. It's time for you to really see what's going on. I feel like the spotlight is on you, and I want to say that you are the only person who can get out of this situation because it's time to grow, and that's really what the sun is about. It's about seeing things clearly, of course, but it is about growth, right? Personal, professional, everything grows under the sun, spiritual growth. It's like you're in a growth spurt, but I feel like this one thing here is weighing you down. What is the 10 of Wands, please? What is the thing that's weighing Scorpio down? I feel like you want to go on your own path. So for some of you, you want to begin a business. Maybe we're talking about the workplace. The Eight of Pentacles is here. Of course, the Eight of Pentacles it can also be about self-mastery. But maybe those two are entangled, right? Maybe you're working in a place that is stifling your creativity or your self-mastery, and you're not even showing it on the surface. In fact, you've become used to it. So it does feel like it's like a toxic relationship, a toxic work environment. It's someplace that you haven't even noticed, or it's become heavy, but you're under the assumption that you're supposed to carry around these burdens. So we do have the Magician, we have the Ace of Wands in the reverse, and then we have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands tells me it's time to start making preparations to go on your own path. I feel like you're not doing that right now because the Ten of Wands is in the reverse and you're still carrying around the burdens of somebody else's job, maybe your boss, maybe a corporation you're working for. We have the Magician. Look, you have all the tools that you need. The Magician is manifesting, right? It's time to begin your manifestations. It's time to let your manifestations take hold. The Ace of Wands is in the reverse because it's almost like you're scared to be excited about something, because you're scared if you get excited about it, what if it doesn't work out? Then what? Well, I feel like you're at the Two of Wands here, and I want to say that the world is in your hands. The world is your oyster, and you can do whatever you want to do. But first, you need to see yourself in the light that is appropriate, right? You need to see what you're doing to yourself by staying in this place where you are carrying around the 10 Wands in the reverse. So we have the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is about expansion. It's about wanting to go on some sort of adventure. You're making a decision. For some of you, you've been waiting, right? Three Wands is here, the Ace of Wands in the reverse, not taking action, not going on the path, not putting energy into it. And I feel like this Two of Wands is telling me that it's time to prepare to go. Why is that? Tell me about the Two of Wands, please, for Scorpio. Tell me about the Two of Wands. We do have the Five of Swords. You're fighting yourself. I feel like it's a very tense environment that you either work in, live in, or maybe you're in a relationship where there's there's fundamental differences here. Whether it's work or a group of friends that you're in, or it's a relationship, there's fundamental differences here, and it bothers you. It bothers you, but you keep it under the surface. You haven't yet brought it to the surface, but you're carrying around the 10 Wands in the reverse. We do have the Knight. You've been carrying around this sort of tense energy of anything could go sideways in a moment. You've been carrying it around for a while, and it could definitely mean that it's ego that's making you carry it. We have Strength. You're holding back. You're not really doing much about it. Maybe you're waiting for some sort of moment of alchemy here, but the Strength card is like you're trying to find the courage to hold back, to not blow your top or lose your mind about whatever it is that's going on here. What else do we need to know? We have the 10 of Pentacles. We have the Seven of Pentacles and the Six of Pentacles. It is time for you to find something that you really love, a place where you really belong. I want to say that you can make far more money if it's a job. I feel like you can make far more money by putting in less effort. I feel like you're starting to think, whether it's a relationship, a job, or something else, it feels like you're starting to look at it in this respect, right? It's like there's 7 Pentacles and 10 Pentacles. The difference between the two is the 3. And so I feel like you're like, who's helping me with this? Who's on my side? Who's on my team? It feels like you don't really know if you want to put any more effort into it. I want to say that no matter what the situation is, that you're putting in a lot of effort, a lot of nurturing. It's like the 7 of Pentacles tells me that you're kind of wondering, if all this work that I'm doing, is it ever going to pay off? I think that it will, but I don't think it's going to pay out in the way that you want it to. I think that before it can pay out, there has to be some sort of reciprocal energy. So if you're in a relationship where you're doing all the work, you're putting in all the effort, if you're in a job where you're the one who's doing all the overtime and nobody's noticing your efforts and you're really good at what you do, it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to find a new path. In the future, the Page of Wands is there. It's time for you to make a decision and change some sort of path here. What's the outcome? The outcome is, you know what? The thing is whenever we make a change from one thing to another, if we end a relationship, if we end up, selling the house and moving somewhere else, or if we're in some sort of relationship that isn't working, I feel like when we make the decision for ourselves, we feel a little bit guilty. And I think that's what this is, feeling a little bit guilty about wanting something more, about wanting a new opportunity or wanting something in the 3D to change. And I think that you're willing to, if it's a job, you're willing to get out of this job where you've been holding down the chaos and keeping it under wraps and not letting anybody see how you actually feel. I feel like there is a new opportunity, and I think you'd be willing to jump into something that is at the base level so you can grow. I mean, the King of Cups is going to grow quickly up the ladder anyway, if this is something that is of a corporate nature, but it feels like there is an opportunity here. I feel like there's regret and sadness here because you don't want to leave. You don't want to change. It feels like you're with the 10 of Wands in the reverse. This is what that's all about, right? It's about sort of carrying around the burdens, so you can tell people you're carrying around the burdens and look at me, woe is me, but you always had the power to change, right? You always had the power to walk out the door, do something different. I feel like right now you are standing your ground, but I want to remind you of the 2 of Wands, right? The 2 of Wands is here. The 2 of Wands is in her hands, and we'd have the 5 Wands, which is the hesitation to go to the 2 of Wands. But if you want it, all you got to do is take this and turn it upright. That is the exciting new path. But right now you're avoiding it. You're avoiding it even though you have all of the tools that you need to move forward. You've been avoiding it. Oops. Sorry, orbs are playing with my light today. There we go. You've been avoiding it because it's a tense situation. You don't want to cause a conflict or a disagreement or some sort of a battle. So I don't know if it's a relationship or a job, but look, inevitably in the future, that's the bottom of the deck for me, something is coming to an end, and it's going to be painful. It's going to be awful. And I don't want to sugarcoat it for you. It's going to be tough. The 10 of Swords is probably the harshest ending. And it is, like it's painful. It's very painful. But I feel like you are going to get justice. Look at the 10 of Swords is a painful, awful ending, but it's also a release. You get to release the pain. You get to leave it in the past, right? And then we have the Libra, and then we have the 10 of Cups, and we have the Ace of Pentacles. So I really do feel that it's your decision. You need to make the decision to get out of the situation that you're in and stop being a hero by carrying around the burdens that aren't yours. It's time to dump them and go to the new job, go to the new relationship, get out of the old relationship, sell the old house, don't do the things that are traditional in your family. Whatever the situation is for you, it's time for you to carry along. So we do have Libra energy here. We do have Aries energy, more Aries energy. We've got lots of fire. So Aries, Sagittarius, Leo. We've got Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn energy here. We've got Virgo. We've got your energy, Scorpio, Pisces, and Cancer. We've got Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. All right. Let's go to the next deck. What else is coming up? What else is coming up for Scorpio, please? In the week ahead. What else is coming up for Scorpio in the week ahead, please? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me what's coming up for Scorpio in the week ahead. We have the Ten of Cups, something that's very happy. You are about to be really happy with something. It might be family, it doesn't have to be, but I want to say that with this rainbow that I'm looking at here, that you are coming out of some really tough cycle. Something really hard happened back there, something that you had to endure. And I feel like with this rainbow here, it's telling me that you're about to enter a new cycle of happiness. Why do we have the Ten of Cups here, please? Excuse me. Why do we have the Ten of Cups here for Scorpio, please? I want to say that the reason that you're in this tough cycle in the past is because there was a lesson that needed to be learned. And I think that you've learned this lesson because the student has appeared. You're ready to learn how to be happier, how to get out of cycles and get into a happier cycle. You know, the Ten of Cups can be about family, right? We do see depictions of two people and a house in the background of family. It could definitely be that. But look, not everybody's in a family situation. Not everybody wants to be. And I feel like it is the absolute apex of happiness, but I only think you can get that if you open your mind, because the Page of Swords is the one who is open-minded. They're ready to learn whatever's coming at them. They're going to assess it accordingly, right? This is Aquarius energy. I'm gonna get the information that I get, and I'm going to assess it accordingly. It doesn't mean that you need to believe everything that you see or everything that comes at you, but I feel like the Page of Swords is here saying that, you know what, maybe it is time to believe that maybe there are 10 cups coming up for me here. Maybe the rainbow does mean that, you know, I'm out of a troubled cycle or a hard cycle, maybe even a sad one. But it feels like you are jumping into a new timeline here of happiness, but I don't feel like it's just given to you. You're not just picked up and plopped there. I feel like you had to learn how to do it. And I think you need to remain open-minded. You need to remain the student here. With a closed mind, nothing ever happens, right? I feel like you were scared to be happy, Scorpio. You were scared that if you were happy, something was going to happen. It goes back to the last hand a little bit with the kind of the Chicken Little syndrome, right? And the sky is falling, but it really isn't. So the Three of Swords is here, and we've got the Ten of Cups. I feel like you're so used to dealing with adverse communication or thoughts, or maybe you're fighting your thoughts, or maybe you're stuck in a place where maybe the place you were stuck in before the end of the cycle, you were brokenhearted or disappointed. We've got Three Swords here, but I think that the Page of Swords is your way out of it. We've got the Two of Swords here, and the Two of Swords is, you know, it's a blocking happiness, blocking love, blocking the new cycle, because you've already decided that it's going to be much of the same. I'm not even going to look forward to it anymore. And so I feel like it's because of some sort of disappointment or heartbreak or hardship of the mind that you have experienced in the past. You know, the thing is that if there is hardship in any aspect of your life, you know, the only way that we can look at it, work through it is by understanding the situation. All it is suffering. If you don't take the lesson from whatever went on back there, whatever was really tough for you, Scorpio, all it is suffering. When you start to learn the lesson, then the suffering will dissipate. So I don't know if you're suffering in this Three of Swords, but I want to say that the Two of Swords tells me that there's something that you're missing. Maybe there's something you're not willing to see. Maybe you're just not willing to be happy because that thing just has never worked out for you in the past. Tell me more. We've got the Eight of Cups. Walk away from it. That's your advice. Walk away from it, Scorpio. It's time for you to take the blindfold off. And I want to say that there, you know, every card that comes out in the tarot has a purpose, right? And I feel like the Two of Swords is a place of purpose for you. I feel like that when you were experiencing whatever it was back there, I feel like you didn't want to really see the situation for what it was, because then you were going to have to do something about it. And I feel like you finally do take off this blindfold here, and you do make your decision to walk away. That you just need to emotionally disconnect here. It's time for you to release something. The full moon is here. And the person on the Eight of Cups isn't only walking away from something, but they are walking towards something, right? A better day, a brighter day. We've got the sun coming up over the horizon here. Excuse me. And the Eight of Cups is a place where you were settling. You were settling because it's almost like you were scared to believe that there was more out there for you. Between the 8 and the 10 is 2. So I feel like you were scared to believe that maybe there is love out there for you. Maybe there is something out there for you that would make you happier. But I feel like you need to realize that happiness is here for you. You just have to reach out and get it. You got to take off the mask or the blindfold here so you can see what's going on. So the Page of Wands is here. Why is that? Because of the Three of Cups. Look, I feel like when you decide, and it is a decision, understand that happiness shows up in some form to you every day. Every one of us has choices to make. And whether we see that happiness or not, whether we reach out for it or not, is whether we decide to stay blindfolded in our upset, anger. I've decided that I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to move forward. It's a little bit of being stuck. It's a little bit of it's a little bit of fixed energy. Look, I know all about that. I'm a Taurus sun. I'm the fixiest fixed sign in the astrology, right? So I feel like the reason that you wouldn't walk away before is because you're like, whatever's up there is just going to be much of the same. But look, the Three of Swords has turned into the Three of Cups. And I want to say that when you decide to disconnect from whatever the Three of Swords was for you, whatever kept you stuck, and decide that you will see happiness, look, don't go wandering through the world looking for sadness, because you'll find it everywhere. Go wandering through the world looking for something that is going to put you on a brand new path, something you've never done. Go ziplining, go snorkeling, go do something. I feel like there's an exciting path that's opening up for you here because you've decided. It is a decision to be happy. External things don't make us happy for long periods of time. Look, you can be rich. Bravo to you if you are, but that is not going to make you not ill. Your health is still going to be subject to everybody else's if you don't take care of yourself. Your mental health could be off. It doesn't matter how much money you have. If you don't invest some of that money into your mental health care, then you're just not going to have your mental health. I feel like you're on some sort of exciting new path where you've decided that you're not going to settle anymore. You're not going to settle for Three Swords. You're not going to settle being stuck and covering your eyes because you're scared that if you might hope for something better, that it might come along and then it might be yanked away from you. I feel like you are deciding that you're no longer going to settle, right? You're walking away or disconnecting emotionally from anything that doesn't serve you here. And I feel like you're off to a brighter day. The Page of Wands tells me that it's time for you to find a new path. And it's almost like it's a little bit of a risk. And I want to say the little bit of a risk could say go ziplining or something like that. It feels like it's an exciting new path where you're going to be fun and free. There's going to be frolic, all the F's, right? And, well, maybe not all of them, but we have the Three of Cups, and it tells me that it's now a happy time of celebration. So I feel like it's time for you to celebrate something. What are we celebrating here? The Knight of Cups, the Nine of Swords, and the Six of Wands. I want to say you're being raised up out of this harsh energy here. The Nine of Swords is a place, for me as a reader, it's being stuck in a cycle. It's like I can't go back, but I don't have the extra sword to move forward, and I'm just stuck in this cycle. I keep doing the same thing over and over again. I keep worrying about the things that I can't change, when the truth is that all you really had to do is make a decision to change. And I feel like you're being raised up, or you're seeing that thing from a higher view, and you know, everyone else is around this person cheering them on because there is victory in the distance. But I feel like first you have to be a little kinder to yourself. The Knight of Cups is here. You need to be a little more careful with how you think about you. You need to be, and I say careful because the Knight of Cups is here, and although, yes, that is romantic feelings in some cases, but I think in this case, you know, the Knight is someone who's trying to be very careful about the cup that they're carrying. It is full of emotion. Somebody here is gets easily spooked, right? You can see the horses, like, you know, sometimes horses, especially when they have the blinders on, right? They're sometimes they put the blinders on the horse so they can't be spooked by things around them. But I feel like this horse is sort of rearing itself because the water around its feet is making the horse feel like, you know, something's around its feet. Horses don't like that when little things are around their feet, and that's what it feels like here. But I feel like you're being really careful, or you need to be careful or kinder with your thoughts about yourself. It's time for you to let go of this cycle because you've learned something. right? You've learned how to let go of the cycle. So we have the 9 swords and we have the 1 in the hand of the Page of Swords. It's time to learn how to see things from a higher view. You're being raised up here. And I feel like you might be raised up by some friends or family or people that love you. And I feel like you are going to get some sort of a victory in celebration here with people that you love. But I feel like it's really got to come with a really big change of mind. Tell me more. What else does Scorpio need to know, please? We've got the 6 of Pentacles, we've got the 8 of Swords, and we've got the 3 of Pentacles. So I feel like it's time to get out of your head. I feel like you haven't been going out, being social, being with people who like you because you've been overthinking everything. And I think it's because of these swords, right? We have 8 and we have 10. There's the end of the cycle. You can stop thinking about it. 1 and 9, you can stop thinking about it. You can put it down, and it's going to hurt. It's going to hurt. Whatever you're putting down, whatever you're ending, whatever cycle you are coming out of was really hard. But it's time for you to get out of that cycle and into the 10 of Cups. Well, how are you going to do that? Well, you're going to do that by giving reciprocity, getting out of your head and giving reciprocity to the people who enjoy you. This to me is the 3 of Pentacles is community. It's friends, friend of a friend. It's a group of people that who are like-minded, who are on your team, collaboration, cooperation. And then the 6 and the 3 is 9. It gives you confidence that you have people that are at your back here. So I feel like there you go. There's a couple of different hands for you here. I think things are about to move in the right direction because now you're balancing yourself between the swords and the cups. I feel like you're balancing yourself. Yeah, it's time to move forward. Things are going to start to pick up because the work was all worth it, my friend. I feel like the 7 of Pentacles is like, yeah, this was a lot of hard work. It is a lot of hard work. Healing is a lot of hard work, Scorpio. I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here and watching. I do appreciate you. I'm going to go for now, and I'll be back because I'm always back, Scorpio. You know it. Bye-bye.